Good morning, everyone. Today I've taken a very simple topic, which is head injury, and all of you must have heard about it. So before I get started, can you tell me what exactly is a head injury? Like if somebody comes in running, oh my God, this person just had a head injury. What does that? What does that mean?
Concussion?
Okay, good. That's a type of head injury. Next,
Fracture of the bone.
good. Okay, so we have concussion, fractures. That's a very good term. Okay, what else? So concussion over here would be to the brain, correct? And fracture would be bone, right? Skull. Good. So head injury basically is any kind of injury either to the brain, the skull, or the skin, the scalp, basically. So any kind of trauma to these three consists of head injury. Now, just because somebody says that, oh my God, he has a head injury, does not always mean that he might have a fracture, does not always mean he might have a concussion. Can you tell me what are the common ways of getting a head injury? I think all of us must have bumped our head somewhere. I'm sorry?
Car accident.
Yeah, good. Okay, car accident.
Bike accident.
Accident.
Yeah.
Accident. Next. What else?
Drug?
Drugs.
Yeah.
Like how?
Like you take certain kind of drug that actually cause hallucinations and
Yeah. Wait, I never heard of that before. Okay, what else?
Is a headache is a kind of head
No.
injury?
No.
No.
No. Headache is a temporary thing that comes and goes. Injury is where you take something and
Oh.
something like that, or you bang your head. Sports!
Ah.
Come on! You want a cap? Sports. What else? Which is the most commonly, most common sport in which you get injuries?
Boxing.
Boxing, good. What else?
I think so. Football.
Soccer?
But
Cycling?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
in
So,
soccer it is very less.
soccer.
Soccer mostly.
No, that would be football. Because soccer is the
Oh,
American soccer.
okay.
You take and run and then 10,000 people jump over you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Rugby.
So, yeah. Cycling, all these
Yeah.
things, sports. The other ones are basically physical abuse, where you take a rod and you hit somebody. Those kind of things. And falls that you see in elderly people who tend to fall and stuff like that. Now, there are basically two types of head. It can be divided into two. So you have open and you have closed. Now open as a mean is obviously your skull cracks open, which would be kind of like a gunshot wound. So directly to the head, so it just goes through. Or you might have seen things in movies or like in TV soaps and stuff where they show that this person is sitting in the car and their head bangs against the windscreen or the thing and they go back again. So that can result in an open wound where a piece of the glass goes into your head. So that's an open wound. Closed wound would be if I hit you on the head and nothing happens. Okay, so your head would still be intact, your skull would be intact. But that does not always mean it's safe, because what might happen is, and this is quite fascinating because supposing if this is your skull, okay, and this is your brain. Now, if it's an open wound, it will directly go through, right? Supposing if I hit you over here, do you think this area will get affected? Only that area? Tricky question. Okay, now what happens is you can either have diffused, that is, it can be like spread, like injury over here, or you can have where I just hit you over here, so this area might get affected, or you have something, since this is your head, okay, and this is your brain. Sometimes, like if I take this big huge iron rod, okay, and I really hit the person hard on this side, the impact of this will be so much that the brain, which is kind of like jelly, will move and hit this side. So I'll hit you here, but your brain will shift this side, hit this part of the skull and bounce back. Okay? So in the end, this part is going to be alright, but this part which is going to bang against the skull is going to get affected. So this is known as a coupe kind of injury, where it slams against the other side of the skull and gets injured. Okay? This is another type. Then you also have, now another thing is, your skull, if you, I don't know if you all have seen it, but it's thick and it's flat, right? It's not like your other bones that you might have seen. Now the skull is a very strong bone, so it's very hard to it's very hard for it to break. But when it does, then a lot of structures tend to get damaged. Like I had mentioned in my previous class, that you have a lot of blood vessels and a lot of important parts that are being regulated by your brain. So if this is the skull, okay, now this I'm going to start talking now. You need to always keep one thing in mind, which is very important, that a lot of people tend to forget. Supposing if I hit my head today and I have like a lot of okay, I can get into this first. So what do you think are the common symptoms of a person who has had any kind of head injury? Like you might have seen in sports that the sportsman falls down and like 10 people are surrounding him and he's like, oh my god, I can't see anything. So what do you think are the other signs that people normally show when they fall? Like what do they complain about?
Pain.
Pain, good. What else?
sometimes they never speak at all, just
Unconscious.
unconscious.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's very important. What else? Because these are very important things and they can actually help you if somebody like gets a head injury in front of you. So what else? I'm seeing flying ducks. Everything is blurred. I'm feeling like vomiting, or I can't remember where I am. Who are you? What? So these are very important things that you need to keep in mind. Now, if it's something very small, then it's alright. But if the person is complaining about this, then you should either get a doctor or just make sure the person is lying over there, like just lying and not moving till finally like the person starts to recover. But that is something that you should always, what is important is you need to keep a check on the person, because the symptoms can develop slowly. Like I might get up, like I might be having all these things, but slowly I might get up and get back to normal. 5 days after that, I might be in the hospital. So it's very important to keep a strict check on these people who have had these kind of injuries. So, any questions so far? Lots of questions, no questions? Yeah? Okay, I guess